Hey, welcome back to Extravagant Fragrances. Real quick, I'm not going to make this too long, but I wanted to go just over two things, and that is going to be the incense making tips. I was making incense the other day, and it happens periodically that I will drop the uh, the incense sticks down into the. What's up, Derek Jones? Um, it will happen periodically that I drop the incense sticks down into the bag because I make my incense sticks in in the actual Ziploc bags. If you've seen some of the past videos, I show like quick methods on how to make the incense sticks because I don't believe you need to soak them for 24 hours. If you flow around on a different incense distributors, you'll see them, boasting about how they soak their incense sticks for 24 to 48 hours. And what I've learned is that that's not really necessary, especially with the especially with the smaller incense sticks. Okay. Hey Derek, yeah, no, I'm kind of just cramming. I'm just kind of cramming the two topics in one live stream today. So no, actually, I don't make the deodorant. It's actually it's called African Pure and Natural. Um, but anyways, I'll get back. I'll get to that in a second. I just kind of want to wrap it up on the incense making tip real quick. And so basically, like one thing that I've learned is if um if you're making them in the bag, and I do that with the small sticks, the small charcoal sticks, and I also do with the 19-inch sticks, because you want your sticks to be fresh. If you're mailing them out the next day, um, I make them to order. So what I do is I put them in those bags, and sometimes I'll drop them in there. And what happens is the actual stick will create a kind of like little tiny puncture in the Ziploc bag. And so when you go to pour your oil in the Ziploc bag, what happens is that little tiny puncture causes the bag to split open. Next thing you know, you got incense oil all over the floor. So one thing that I've learned is that to keep that from happening is to kind of like slowly, place the sticks into the bag, and don't let them drop in. If you drop them in, you're running a real big risk of having incense oil all over the floor, like I said. So, what's up, MD Azar and Lady Devon? So yeah, so that's that right there. That's my quick pointer for today on the incense stick making. And the next thing I wanted to go over was the Pure and Natural. It's the Pure and Natural Crystal Deodorant. This is on the website, but this is the only deodorant I use. Okay. What I like about this deodorant, I'm gonna take the lid off. I know it doesn't look big; it looks small, but that's salt. That's just a salt crystal deodorant. And I was doing my research on this particular type of deodorant, and it was said that there was a Chinese guy working in a salt factory in China, and the guy used to get like real sweaty, and so he took some salt and he like put it under his armpits, and he noticed that he stayed like really fresh. He didn't get stinky or anything like that, and so he continued to use it as like a deodorant. And what it does is it stops the bacteria buildup. It really does slow down the funk. Okay. Um, and that's just kind of how it works. Is like when you step out of the shower, when your armpits are still wet, that's when you go under your armpits with it, and you kind of like wipe around the whole area about 20 times, until you touch every that whole area. And so what that does is kind of keeps you fresh for a long period of time. I don't use commercial deodorants anymore, um, for a couple reasons, because they've got certain chemicals in them like aluminum that I don't mess with any deodorant products that have aluminum. But one of the big things that I have to point out with the salt deodorants is that if you're wearing a fragrance, the salt doesn't have a smell to it. So if you're wearing like a commercial type of deodorant that has a smell to it, it's going to interfere with the fragrance that you have on. So that's one of the reasons why I decided to carry the salt deodorant is because it's neutral. It doesn't have a smell. I've kind of gotten tired of having, when you get like the stick deodorant, you put it on under there, and you just have all this kind of like, the stuff going on down in your armpits. So I like the salt because it doesn't give me that feel, but at the same time, it does keep me fresh. So and it was said that um each stick of this is supposed to last up to a year. I don't know about that one. I would probably say for me, I would probably say maybe 5 to 6 months with regular use, maybe. And as long as you dry it off after you step out of the shower, um, it will last. It will last for a while. Yeah, this one is made by Medina. This one's made by. That's the only thing I buy from them. Um, you know, Medina. That's the pure and natural right there. So, anyways, gonna wrap this live stream up. Thought I would just share those couple things, and I'll try to like come on periodically and do these short live streams. Um, yeah, Lady Devon. That's I mean, it's kind of hard to eliminate, you know, everything that has chemicals, but it's worth it to try to eliminate as much as you can, and so that's kind of why I use it. As far as like like skin moisturizers, I only use I only use natural oil. And that's what they used back in the old day. Natural oils. I like to use my own personal blend of uh, a little bit of black seed oil with olive oil. And then as far as soaps go, I can't mess with commercial grade soaps because I break out all the time. Every time I use commercial grade soaps, I have eczema and it just causes it to just flare up even more. So um yeah. So anyways, yeah, no problem. I will try to kind of whenever I get ideas, I'll try to throw them out there on the live stream. So you said you've been bathing with the black soap. I love the black soap. Um, it does dry your skin out, but hey, I mean that's why you got your shea butter out there, and I personally I'll switch if the weather is like really cold. Um, the thing I like about the shea butter is it kind of insulates your skin, so it kind of keeps you warm in the wintertime. Um, but on a regular basis, I like to use a blend of like your extra virgin olive oil and black seed oil. So I think that's it. If anybody has any questions, I'll answer questions. Other than that, I think I'm going to be wrapping this up. And yeah, cool. You whipping up some shea butter. That's cool. Yeah. So, anyways, all right, everybody. Hope you appreciate the quick tip. And I will. Toothpaste. Toothpaste is personally. I've done a lot of research on toothpaste, and I've been kind of experiment with that one because um, some toothpastes they say actually with they have a certain amount of what's that stuff? Um, I forget the term that they use. It's like I don't want to say the grit. If you know what I'm talking about, the grit that is in certain toothpastes. Fluoride. I don't mess with fluoride. Mm-mm. Anything with any fluoride toothpaste out there, I don't mess with it. Um, I think there are different types of fluoride as far as I know. I think there is a healthy one, but the sodium fluoride I stay away from. um, but I've been experimenting. I use the peroxide, um, baking soda every once in a while. That's the only thing is that it's what's that term they use? I don't want to say corrosive. I don't think that's the term, but some of these toothpastes have that grittiness to it that kind of actually wears away down at the enamel, and so that's kind of what I'm struggling with. Is I think there are certain toothpastes that may not have that. Uh, Tom's of Maine, I actually liked that toothpaste because I think they make a toothpaste that doesn't have what is that term called? That's it. That's it. The abrasive in there. Trader Joe's, they have a nice toothpaste that actually has myrrh powder in it. That's their abrasive in their toothpaste. And when I tried that, you know, I actually got a good experience from that one, even though it was an abrasive. But yeah, peroxide, I'm a firm believer in peroxide for brushing the teeth. Um, Talked about whitening, baking soda, peroxide. Yeah, I use it, and then especially like with the peroxide because it is an antibacterial. I'll actually go ahead and make it into a mouthwash. I'll drop some of the peppermint essential oil in there, and I'll use that as a as a mouthwash. Um, but yeah, I'm still honestly when it comes to tooth care. I mean, I was promoting the Miss Wax. Um, but the only thing with Miswak is that for me, it's like when it comes to getting in the back of your molar teeth, sometimes that can be a little hard to reach. But the Miswak is very good as far as like getting the sides, getting the front, even right here on the inside. But getting the molars can be a little tricky. So yeah, I don't have all the answers definitely as far as it comes to like dental health. um I know what you put in your body, it makes a big difference. It's just dental health is from what I've researched is very important to take care of when it comes to internal health as well, not just external health. The chew sticks, I don't use the chew sticks as yeah, I know what you're talking about, the licorice sticks. I don't use those as miswax. Um, I have actually one guy in the oil business. He um he told me try this out. So he said get the licorice sticks. He said break them up in pieces, boil your water. He said make a tea out of it, and he said so you're gonna add the licorice sticks, you're gonna add honey, and you're going to add peppermint tea. And he said it's like the best thing to drink on a cold day, on a hot day. And I tried that out, and that blend right there actually is really good because the licorice is already naturally sweet, but then when you add in the honey and the peppermint, it's a real good iced tea, and it's really healthy for you too. And there's a lot of health benefits. The licorice sticks, I always wondered why do why do oil vendors always carry licorice sticks? I still don't know why. You always, if you ever deal with like big oil vendors, you're always gonna see a few things. You're gonna see licorice sticks, shea butter, and African black soap. It's those three things seem to always come, when you're dealing with oil vendors. But when I did my research, um, yeah, I heard about that. People that are trying to quit smoking, The licorice was good. Um, but yeah, the research that I did with the licorice sticks, there's actually a lot of health benefits with licorice in general. I know there was a detox powder that I was using once to kind of like flush your system out, and licorice root powder was one of the ingredients in the detox powder. So, but um, but anyways, guys and girls, ladies, um, got any questions? Any more questions? Guess not. Alrighty. So, all right, everybody. I'm gonna wrap this up, and hopefully, I'll be back soon. Lady Devon. No, I'm sorry. I don't sell pheromones. I've actually experienced. I've been on the other side and have experienced pheromones. And they, I will say, they worked on me. Okay, but I don't really know where to get them. If you can get a hold of the 100% deer musk, and that can be a little tricky, because the deer musk is kind of, it's unregulated. Even like some of the, the deer musk that I have, I promote it as a deer musk blend. And that's just because I was told that's what it was. You're gonna have makers that are gonna lie. You're gonna have distributors that will lie and just tell you that just because they want you to feel good about it. Um, but I can only go off of what I'm told from what a vendor actually tells me. But I have no way of actually proving if there is real deer musk, and which is a type of pheromone. Deer musk. If you can get a hold of the pure deer musk, um, that is a type of pheromone. And if you can get a hold of the pods, it's like these little. You could probably go on eBay and look up the pods, which are these, like, they look like coffee grains. And if you can get a hold of the deer musk pods, if you know anything about breaking that down and actually making it into a note, like a fragrance note, and kind of blending that into your fragrances, that would probably be one route that I would go. But I'm actually really surprised how many oil vendors don't carry pheromones, or even promote it, because I would definitely have jumped on that if I can actually get pheromones, like liquid pheromones, and sell it. Um, I would be first in line for that one. But UCTCDE. I mean, I don't know if that's a name or abbreviation. But but yeah, you were asking about the best selling oils right now. Number one, I always say it, Egyptian musk. Number one is Egyptian musk. Um, Honey nut musk right now is, I'm out of stock actually. I've started stocking that one in pounds. I can't hang on to it. Um, so yeah, the honey nut musk is a very good selling fragrance. The natural patchouli, I mean, believe it or not, as pungent as it is, that's my second biggest selling fragrance. Patchouli is my second biggest selling fragrance. Um, Let me see what else. I got a fragrance, an imported fragrance in, and it was called Jennut. And I broke that fragrance down and blended it with another fragrance. Um, and it was just, it was a flop. I was really surprised, because the Jennut was kind of like, to me, it reminded me of the sister of White Oud. It had some very similar characteristics as White Oud. The Jannat Firdos, that one's a big seller too. That one is, I still have some from Nimat. Um, but yeah, the Jannat Firdos is is a good one. Um, yeah, that the old 70s patchouli. That's the old 70s patchouli that's is still around. But that one, yeah, I have that one. Lady Divine, I wanted to go back and answer your question, and that was what books would I recommend about oils? I'll be honest with you, that would be great if somebody could actually come out with a book because I don't think I've ever found a book out there. Um, I don't think this industry, the fragrance oil industry, I don't really think it gets a lot of exposure, you know. But it'd be great if someone actually came out with a documentary. That's been really on my mind, like real hard. Uh, you know, you have like you've got documentaries, short documentaries of fragrance oil places like overseas, like in Dubai and stuff like that. Um, but I mean, like a documentary of oils here, stateside. That would be really cool if somebody could do something like that. Um, Lady Devon, yeah, I will let you know when I get some more of the honey nut musk. WidgeCon, inspired by Creed Aventus. I always have to put that disclaimer. Inspired by Creed Aventus body oil type. Okay. That one, that one is a high in demand fragrance. Um, I've got two different versions from two different suppliers, but all of the inspired by Creed fragrance body oils, all of those are popular. All of them. Pastor Jack, do you have any more special for starter kit? Because I'm starting to sell oils in California. Um, if you look on the website, there is one special that I posted up some time back, and it didn't seem to get much much traction. But since you're asking, I'll let you know right now, and that is, hold on one second. That is the 31-ounce Boston Round fragrance body oil kit, mix or match, with either screw top or atomizers. So you can either get the sprays, or you can get the regular screw top. These are 1 ounce, and you get a free wooden display to go with it. So what I'll do right now is I will post that link right here. Give me 1 second. I'll post that link right here, Pastor. So there it is. Um, Heavenly Scent. Yeah, I've never heard. I think that's who put that out? Who put that documentary out? By the way, if there's any of you that are really big into like pure ouds, go and check out. And I have no like affiliation with these guys. I just really appreciate what they're doing. But it's called it's called dang, I just forgot. How could I forget? Udimentary. That's it. Udimentary. Um, I mean, these guys are really big. I mean, these guys literally travel to different parts, like I think all the way to like Malaysia or something like that, and just to get their oud, and then they actually distill the oud down. And I will leave that link too if you all are interested. But yeah, this is like a 21 minute long documentary. Hold on 1 second. I'll post it here. It's a pretty cool watch. Let's see here. Because I do sell oud blends, but these guys, like, for your oud fanatics out there who don't believe me, like those of you out there, when I say like just small bottles are very expensive, like $300, this is the kind of stuff that they sell. I mean, these guys, they go and they buy the chips, They travel for the chips and they distill it down. They go all the way back to the farmers to get this stuff, the raw materials. So yeah. Um Let me see. Imported oils, I don't think it's hard to get. No, it's not hard to get. The problem I see with imported oils is definitely not the quality. I would say it's the demand. I just don't think um, a large amount of the masses are willing to spend what it costs. Because, like for example, a pound of fragrance, an imported pound of fragrance can cost like 6 times, 7 times more than your domestic pounds of fragrance oils here in the U.S. Easily, easily. I have some imported oils that like a couple of them that are like $400 a pound. You know, so it's just a matter of I just don't know if the demand is as high. Like I said, it's there, but it's just like rudimentary, for example. It's a small niche market that um there's you have to be like it's like it's almost kind of like a little subculture, I would say. um Mo Watts, what project were you talking about? I'm not quite sure. You were talking about get on that project. um Abu Musa Merrick Abdul Al Kabir. I think I know which company you're talking about, which is Nimat. Some of their fragrances are good. I like some of their stuff. um and actually they're not that expensive. They're not expensive at all. Yeah. I think that's the problem with this industry is that we lack a lot of exposure. And I will probably say primarily due to the fact that you got your competitors, they hate this business. They don't like the fragrance oil business. Trust me. Trust you me. When I say they don't like it, I'm always getting stupid emails sometimes from people that will try to get me to say that the designer fragrance oils are the original. Or they'll send stupid emails like, how do you make that designer fragrance? And I'm like, I'm not stupid, man. Like, I know what you're trying to do. You know what I'm saying? And some of them I have to mute on the YouTube channel. It's ridiculous. So trust me when I tell you they don't like competitors don't like the fragrance oil business. They don't. You know, I've actually had credit card merchant providers ban me from their services because they see that I'm selling fragrance oils. And when I ask them, well, why? Well, then they start mentioning big names. I'm not going to go into that. I'm not going to say which big names, but they say, well, because we have a relationship with these guys, we're not allowed to provide service to you anymore. So and I didn't even know this live stream would turn into this topic, but since I'm here, I might as well mention it. You know, the fragrance oil business, especially if you're selling the inspired by type versions of the body oils, um, it's almost become like selling, like if you want to have like a casino website or something, or like a very taboo, like you're like almost like a something like it's a crime or something. You know what I'm saying? That's been my experience when it comes to fragrance oils. These guys they send out people who are paid. to comb through websites, to comb through any website, and to basically try to trip you up into saying something illegal. You see what I'm saying? So you definitely have to give credit to the original designer names. You have to make sure you give that credit, and to give your disclaimers that you're not selling original fragrances. This is it's called comparative advertising, which is totally legal. Um, so he said the culture is fading. I started getting into oil when I became Muslim in 1991. It was big in NYC. Yeah, I did hear about that. Up in New York, it's still. I think it's still alive. You know, the problem that I see is that you get people that want to water down the fragrances. um I can't tell you how many times people have sent me emails asking, can they use burning oils as body oils, and I'm like, why would you do that? Like, why would you why would you sell that as a body oil? You know what I mean? um people know the difference. People know the difference when it comes to quality. And if it's not going to last more than a couple minutes, of course, yeah, it's gonna definitely create a bad impression. But um I've actually been trying to find a way to create wholesale kits for the imported oils. I don't know what you all think about that. Let me know what you think about that. But I'm a firm believer in, I don't care how much it costs. I care about the quality more than the cost. You know, and if I can um, bring the quality, you know, at a reasonable price, that's something I would be interested in moving in. It's just, yeah, that's something. It just kind of seems a little difficult though when you have like a $29 fragrance in a 3 ml bottle, um, and it looks so small. You tell someone 29.95. Sometimes people don't quite understand what they're getting, you know. But I've been trying to figure out some kind of package for the imports, like kind of like how I have the wholesale kits. If you go to the wholesale section where it's like the 144 bottles, stuff like that, I've been thinking of what to put together as far as the wholesale imported kits. So I don't know, like, as far as price points go, let me know what you guys think on that. What sizes? 3 ml, 6 ml, 12 ml. Let me know what you think on that. Um, so Pastor Jack, you had asked about do you need a license to sell oil? Uh I don't know. I don't know if you need a license. It's I would go and check, your state, because the laws are different in every state. But I know, um, as far as I know, I mean, the way I do it, as long as you pay your taxes. Now it may be different if you have like a physical storefront, that may be different. It depends on the laws of your locality. So I would definitely check into that. Um, let's see. Yeah, yeah. As far as benefiting from the pounds, um, Piyush Kumdani. I don't know if I pronounced your name right. As far as the basic information you need to get to start a fragrance oil online business, I mean, I think I've provided enough information. And if you just go through some of my videos, You know, I definitely welcome it because um, I think the industry needs more exposure. You know, I think the fragrance body oil industry needs more exposure, and the more people that can start launching websites um, and putting it out there and making it more mainstream, the better. You know what I mean? Um, you would definitely need a website. If you don't have a website, I recommend getting a website um, that has real time shipping, right? So make sure if you're selling online, make sure you get a website that has real time shipping. In the beginning, I started with a website through it was one of those rinky dink websites. Um, I mean, it worked for the time being, but I outgrew it pretty quick because they don't have real time shipping. I mean, you can kind of I think you can put your own um, calculations and all that stuff in the website, but for me, it was pretty difficult, and that was through Vistaprint. And yeah, it's cheap, but Vistaprint I think is only good if you just want a presence online. You know, if you just want a presence online to have a master list, Vistaprint's good. But if you want to be shipping, Shopify is a good one too. Big Commerce, Shopify, they have some similarities. But yeah, they have that real time shipping that will calculate if your customers all the way across the world, and you can decide which countries you ship to and which countries you don't. You know, I have a list of exclusions of countries I don't ship to, just because some countries have um, a lot of theft and scamming. But yeah, the real time shipping will allow your international customer to be able to see exactly how much it costs to ship the packages there. You know, and it allows you to put like the weight of the package, so that way when the order comes in, you can see right away what it's going to cost to ship it out. Yeah, Abu Musa Merrick Abdul Kabir. Um, if you can ship, first of all, what I like to do when I'm shipping my fragrances, I will wrap them in bubble wrap first, and I'll put them in bubble wrap, and then if it's glass, bubble wrap, then you put them in, put the popcorn, and you want to make sure you got popcorn underneath your fragrance, and then you have popcorn on the top, and you stuff it in. Like when you close your package of the fragrances, you want to make sure it's stuffed in, so that way it holds that fragrance in place. Another thing is, I don't think you want to send roll-ons over like internationally. You know, if you're shipping fragrances domestically, that's cool. No, no, no. Like packing popcorn. That's packing popcorn, not not the real popcorn. Although the packing popcorn is biodegradable, it's non-toxic. So I don't know. I'm like wondering, can I like eat one and still be okay? Because it looks like they look like kind of like white cheese curls, you know. But anyways, I wouldn't ship, you know, roll-ons overseas because they do break, they do, you know, they go through a lot of wear and tear on the way over there. Um, so yeah, I would ship if you can when you're shipping overseas. I would try to ship with with plastic, you know, plastic bottles with a screw cap. That's always the safest way to send fragrance for me, especially overseas, is the plastic with the screw cap. And um yeah, that's it. That's it. That's probably the best way. And when you send with a plastic and the screw cap, you don't have to use as much packing material. You know, a plastic bottle with a screw cap can be shipped and take more wear and tear than definitely more than glass. So, um, Lady Devon says when you don't have a website and people just order from you. No, when people order from you, if you're selling through Facebook, um, or email, no, I ask for everything up front. You know, um, yeah, I ask for everything up front because that's I've just had really bad experiences with that. Of fronting product and stuff like that. I've had real bad experiences with that. That's one thing I just don't like to do. I don't like to front product to people or to have them make half a deposit and half later. Unless you're making something like I think you had mentioned something about your whipped shea butter. If you have a customer that's like ordering a bulk amount of your whipped shea butter, that may be a little different, because they're putting in a special order, especially if it's a customized order. That's something different. It's almost like someone who's a carpenter making tables or something like that, and a person wants to come and get him started. So maybe that person will have him front half that money until the project is done. If it's an expensive project. But as far as oils, go, I mean, that's for me. That has to be up front. And as far as the spray bottle squares, they look like they've been twisted. I've seen all kinds of styles of bottles. I don't know exactly which one you're talking about. If you send me a picture, I might be able to identify it. But yeah. So, anyways, I think that's gonna have to wrap this up here. If you guys got any questions, send them in the comment section. I'll try to answer the best that I can. Other than that, everybody, got to get going. I hope you like this live stream, and stay tuned because I'm going to try to, like I said, I'm going to try to be posting more live streams. So take care and have a good weekend, everybody. Thank you. Alrighty. Take care.